What's going on, WrestleScope Nation? This is your host, Salvador, and I need you to stop what you're doing right now, because what went down on Monday Night Raw is absolutely insane. I'm talking career-ending drama, relationships destroyed, and a confrontation that has the entire WWE universe divided right down the middle. And here's what's going to make your blood boil. The way this entire situation unfolded proves that WWE management is once again playing favorites, protecting certain superstars while throwing others under the bus. But before I expose exactly what happened and who is really to blame for this absolute train wreck, I need you to understand something. Listen to me very carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about Liv Morgan, Dominik Mysterio, and the so-called judgment that Stephanie Vaquer brought to Monday Night Raw. Here's the truth that nobody else is willing to say out loud. Hello viewers, if you're new here, please don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button for daily updates on WWE Raw. Liv Morgan has been getting away with murder on Monday Night Raw for months now. She's been playing games, manipulating storylines, and wrapping Dominik Mysterio around her finger while the entire women's division has been forced to watch from the sidelines. And you want to know the worst part? WWE Creative has been protecting her this entire time. But Monday night, everything changed. When Stephanie Vaquer, a woman who has paid her dues, who has fought in promotions around the world, who has earned her spot through blood, sweat, and tears, finally decided she had enough of Liv Morgan's games and Dom's puppy dog behavior, that's when the real explosion happened. And I'm going to tell you right now, what you saw on television was only half the story. The backstage fallout, the locker room reactions, the real reason why this confrontation happened when it did, that's what we're diving into today. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to be furious about what really went down. But first, let me take you back to where this dumpster fire actually started. Let's rewind the clock, because this story doesn't begin on Monday Night Raw. Oh no, this story begins months ago when Liv Morgan returned from injury with a brand new attitude and a vendetta against Rhea Ripley. Now, we all remember how Liv systematically dismantled everything Rhea held dear. She took her title, she took her spot in the spotlight, and then, in what might be the most controversial move in recent WWE history, she started her calculating campaign to take Dominik Mysterio. And here's where it gets interesting. At first, everyone thought Dom was playing Liv. We thought he was working an angle, staying loyal to mommy, playing the long game. The WWE Universe was convinced that Dominik was going to pull the rug out from under Liv at the perfect moment and return to Rhea's side like the prodigal son returning home. But that's not what happened, is it? Week after week, we watched Dominik fall deeper into Liv's web. Week after week, we watched him make excuses. Week after week, we watched him choose Liv over loyalty, over family, over everything that made him who he is. And the entire time, WWE Creative was eating it up. They were loving the engagement, loving the social media buzz, loving the fact that fans were so invested in this toxic relationship that they couldn't look away. But while WWE was counting their engagement metrics and patting themselves on the back for creating compelling television, they forgot about one crucial element. The women's division was being held hostage by this storyline. Think about it. How many legitimate contenders were pushed to the sidelines while Liv Morgan and her relationship drama dominated 20 minutes of every single Raw? Stephanie Vaquer was one of those women. When Stephanie Vaquer arrived in WWE, she came with credentials that most superstars can only dream about. This woman is a former NJW Strong Women's Champion, a former CMLL Women's Champion. She's wrestled in front of sold-out crowds in Mexico City, Tokyo, and everywhere in between. She didn't need WWE. WWE needed her. But what happened when she got here? She was told to wait her turn, she was told to learn the WWE style, she was told to be patient while Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio took up valuable television time with their relationship drama. And Stephanie did what she was told. She worked the house shows, she put in the time at the Performance Center, she waited for her opportunity while watching weeks of television being dedicated to whether or not Dom was going to hold Liv's hand or open a door for her. Do you understand how disrespectful that is? You have one of the most talented female wrestlers on the planet sitting in catering, watching backstage segments about Dominik Mysterio's relationship problems. You have a woman who main evented shows in Japan and Mexico, being told she needs to wait her turn, while Liv Morgan gets segment after segment after segment. But here's what WWE didn't count on. Stephanie Vaquer is not the kind of woman who stays quiet forever. She's not the kind of wrestler who's going to smile, nod, and accept being underutilized while less talented performers get the spotlight simply because they're wrapped up in a controversial storyline.
And the locker room? The locker room was behind her. Sources backstage, and I have multiple sources who have confirmed this, told me that the women's locker room had been waiting for someone to call out this nonsense. They'd been waiting for someone to stand up and say, enough, we're here to wrestle, not to be extras in a soap opera. And on Monday Night Raw, Stephanie Vaquer became that voice. Now let's get to what actually happened on Monday Night Raw, because if you only watched what they showed on television, you only got a fraction of the real story. The segment started innocently enough. Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio were backstage doing what they do every single week, being insufferable. They were laughing, flirting, completely oblivious to the fact that the entire locker room is sick of their act. And that's when Stephanie Vaquer walked into frame. Now, on television, they showed you about 90 seconds of this confrontation. They showed you Stephanie walking up, they showed you some heated words, and they showed you Liv looking shocked while Dom tried to play peacemaker. But what they didn't show you was what happened before the camera started rolling and what continued after they cut to commercial. According to multiple people who were there, Stephanie had been waiting for this moment for weeks. She had cleared it with backstage producers that she wanted to cut a promo addressing the Liv Dom situation, but WWE Creative kept pushing it back, kept finding excuses, kept telling her not yet, we're building to something else. Yeah, they were building to something else, all right. They were building to more Liv and Dom relationship content while actual wrestlers sat on the sidelines. So on Monday, Stephanie took matters into her own hands. She found Liv and Dom backstage during a segment that was supposed to be another one of their cute couple moments, and she inserted herself into the situation. And here's what she said, and I'm paraphrasing because WWE edited the hell out of this, but here's the essence of her message. I came to WWE to wrestle. I came here to compete. I came here to face the best women's wrestlers in the world. But every week, I watch 20 minutes of television time get wasted on this, gesturing at Liv and Dom, while women who can actually go in that ring are sitting in the back waiting for an opportunity. So Liv, if you want to call yourself a champion, if you want to claim you're the top woman in this division, then prove it. Stop hiding behind relationship drama and face me in that ring. And the place erupted. The other superstars backstage started reacting, some supporting Stephanie, some shocked by her boldness. Even some of the male superstars were nodding along because they were tired of it too. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Now, Liv Morgan is a lot of things, but she's not stupid. She knew that this was a pivotal moment. She knew that how she responded to Stephanie's challenge would define her championship ring moving forward. So what did she do? She smirked. She smirked. And then she said something that has the entire WWE universe divided right now. She said, you want an opportunity? You want a title shot? Stephanie, sweetheart, you haven't earned anything. You've been here for 5 minutes and you think you can just walk up to the women's world champion and demand a match? That's not how this works. You want to face me? You get in line like everybody else. Now, on the surface, that sounds like a reasonable response from a champion, right? Get in line, earn your shot, pay your dues. But here's what makes this absolutely infuriating. Liv Morgan is talking about earning opportunities and getting in line when she built her entire championship ring on relationship drama and controversy. She's talking about earning shots when she spent more time in backstage segments with Dominik than she has defending her title against legitimate contenders. The hypocrisy is off the charts. And Dominik? Oh, Dom's response was even worse. He stepped in front of Liv, trying to be the protective boyfriend, and told Stephanie she was being disrespectful and that she needed to calm down and show some respect to the champion. Yeah, Dominik Mysterio, the guy who betrayed his own father, the guy who turned his back on his family, the guy who's been acting like a lovesick puppy for months, he's going to lecture Stephanie Vaquer about respect? The audacity. And this is where Stephanie showed exactly why she's not just another wrestler on the roster. This is where she proved that she's a star. Instead of backing down, instead of getting emotional, instead of playing into the drama that Liv and Dom wanted, Stephanie did something brilliant. She looked directly at the camera, and this is the part that went viral on social media, and she said, you know what, Liv, you're right. I haven't earned a title shot yet, but I will. And when I do, when I beat whoever I need to beat, when I prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that I deserve to face you, you won't be able to hide behind your boyfriend anymore. You won't be able to hide behind your drama. You won't be able to make excuses. And on that day, I'm going to expose you for what you really are, a champion who's more interested in being the star of a reality show than being a wrestler. And then she walked away. She didn't wait for her response. She didn't give Liv a chance to clap back. She said her piece and she left, leaving Liv and Dom standing there looking absolutely shook. And that is how you cut a promo. That is how you establish yourself as a legitimate threat. That is how you take control of a segment and make yourself the most talked about person on the show without even having a match. But here's where the story gets even more complicated, because the fallout from this confrontation has created multiple storylines that are all interconnecting in ways that could reshape the entire Raw landscape. Let me break down what's happening right now. First, let's talk about Liv Morgan's position coming out of this confrontation. Liv is furious, and not just in a revenge way. She's legitimately upset that her storyline is being interrupted, that her spotlight is being threatened, and that someone like Stephanie, who Liv probably sees as a new girl, would dare to challenge her this publicly. According to backstage sources, Liv went straight to WWE management after this segment and demanded that Stephanie face consequences for going into business for herself and disrespecting the champion. But here's the problem with that argument. Stephanie didn't go into business for herself. WWE Creative knew she was going to confront Liv and Dom. They just didn't expect her to be this fire, this intense, and this effective at stealing the spotlight. And when the social media numbers came in, when WWE saw that hashtag Stephanie Vaquer was trending worldwide, when they saw that this segment was getting more engagement than Liv and Dom's usual segments, they realized they might have accidentally created their next big star. Second, let's talk about Dominik Mysterio, because his position in all of this is fascinating. Dom is caught between two worlds right now. On one hand, he's committed to the storyline with Liv. He's invested months into this relationship angle, and it's kept him relevant even though his in-ring work has been, let's say, inconsistent. But on the other hand, Dom's smart enough to know that aligning himself with Liv and against someone like Stephanie, who has the respect of the entire locker room and a growing fan base, could backfire spectacularly.